And now we get to a real piece of fucking shit. And this might be the last Kevin Smith film I'll review because I've already reviewed Tusk, and nothing, my opinion has not changed on that movie. Maybe I'll do another video, 10 or so minutes, just saying once again why I did not like that film. I don't need to see it again. Sadly, I do remember it. And I remember how shitty it is. But, I don't know. If I don't, this is the last Kevin Smith review. If I do, and I'm not seeing Yoga Hosers, I'm not paying my fucking money to see Yoga Hosers because it looks like shit. Especially when you look at shit like this. Red State. That's my fucking brains on the fucking sidewalk after I've seen this fucking flick. It's in a red state of affairs. By the time I'm ending this fucking video, my face will be in a red state of affairs from fucking yelling, huffing and puffing, and I don't give a shit if Quentin Tarantino loved the movie. Oh fucking well. Didn't he also like The Lone Ranger, which was like in his top 10 of that year? I thought that movie was pretty crappy as well. And you know what? I'd rather watch that than this one because at least that has a fun finale with the trains. The only damn good scene in the film. Just watch that, then the movie's good. But the fact that it's in a crappy, almost 3-hour movie, it's still better than this. There's not even much to say about this. It's 3 kids who are fucking horny and they go on a thing that's not quite Craigslist to fuck a girl at the same time. 3-on-1. And you know how people say that the people in Hostel are unlikable and assholes? Eli Roth wrote better characters, and Hostel is a better movie than this. I shit you not. And you know what? Hostel was one of those movies that maybe I would have liked if they don't have a fucking Hostel 2 where you critically disregard the fucking first movie and kill the lead guy in the first 10 minutes like an idiot. Thank you, Eli Roth, for that. If it was for that and you just had Hostel, then maybe I could, Jay Hernandez, his character, I liked more than anybody in this fucking movie. The ending to Hostel at least had the guy taking revenge on some assholes, like the fucking bitches who fucked him and his friends over, ran the bitches over. And the guy who killed his friend, he's able to get the motherfucker, cut his throat. At least he had an ending worth of shit, unlike this movie. The only semblance that I could give is John Goodman, but fuck, I'll just watch Arachnophobia if I want to watch John Goodman. The Big Lebowski if I want to watch John Goodman. You can't save the film. It's weird. This film is an hour and 28 minutes long. And it feels triple that. Fucking triple that shit. God damn, man. What do I... Okay. Literally the first 40 minutes of the film is this. And the reason Kevin Smith made this is because of the West Baptist Church and Fred Phelps, and to do that kind of character and group into a horror film and make them look like fools. And then when he made the film, he went to Sundance and did this stupid speech about how I'll market it myself. I don't have an auction. No, I'm buying this myself, wasting everyone's fucking time. And I'm thinking, and I know Kevin Smith's like, well, what's the big deal? I did this to get promotion, and I never really had any intention for anyone to buy the film, because that's where you go to Sundance, is so people can maybe buy the film and then send it out there. It's like, I'm tired of people, getting movies I make, and they're low budget, but then they spend too much on marketing, and then it takes too much from the break bank. I'll do it myself and take it on the road like they did back in the day. Okay, but you didn't have to go through the whole shit in Sundance, because from what I understand, in Sundance, aren't there only a certain amount of films that could get in? For example, if there's 10 films that could get in, you became one of those 10 films, Kevin Smith. So what about the film that couldn't get in because of you and your film, which you had no intention? So that film who couldn't get in is left in the rust and in the dust. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but isn't there only a certain amount of movies that could be put into Sundance? Then they get turned away? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, hey, that's his decision. If it was a good movie, sure. Kids in the classroom, the teacher even talking shit about. It's not the West Baptist. It's called the 5 Points Trinity with Pastor Abin Cooper, played by Michael Parks. And even the teacher is going, yeah, even the Nazis think they're knuckin' futs. When you have a teacher say knuckin' futs, you know you're in trouble. These three kids are absolutely unlikable, and that's a problem with the film. There's no likable characters. See, Kevin, I hate to be bearer of bad news, but when you make a horror film, you have to have someone likable. You have to have someone to root for. You have to have someone you like. There's no one to like. These three kids are not likable. The dialogue is, these bitches want to fuck. They want to fuck us all at the same time. I'm not going to hate not getting that pussy. Let's fucking do this. Ah! You're fine when they die. Thus, there's no horror. There's no suspense. This film's not scary. It's not thrilling. It's not suspenseful. It's not funny. There's nothing to it. It's fucking boring and a bit pretentious with no likable characters. That's the fucking problem. Even in an hour and 28 minutes, it's fucking boring. It's tedious. It's slow. So a whole like 10 minutes is these three assholes. They finally go to this woman in a trailer park who gives them beer. They drink it, they get drugged. Two of them are put in a pit, taped up. One is in a cage. And then Michael Parks has a sermon for, I swear, 10 fucking minutes. This is an hour and 28 minute movie. 10 fucking minutes. Michael Parks does a sermon. 10 fucking minutes of gays are bad. You gotta be fearful of God. I'm fearful of God. I don't go to church. Not because I don't believe, but it's because it's fucking boring. So right, I feel like I'm in church, and not only am I in church, I'm in church with an asshole! I already got an asshole. It's between my legs. I don't need to watch an asshole sermonizing for 10 fucking minutes. Between this and Tusk, I know Kevin Smith loves to hear Michael Parks talk. But unless it's fucking Quentin Tarantino giving him the fucking lines, shut the fuck up. And then after the 10 minutes of sermons, they show that they have another guy, plastic ball, a ball getting in his mouth, plastic up, tied up, shot in the head. Which is weird. They shoot him in the head, and like a little fireball comes out of his head. Does that happen when you get shot in the head? I mean, someone let me know. I don't know. I didn't understand that. He gets shot in the head, and it looks like this fucking little fireball comes up. Maybe he's as fired up as I am, so that if you shoot me in the head, there'd be a fire coming up. I don't know. I didn't understand that. Someone could explain that. How that works. I'm seriously, I don't know. And then I swear you have to listen to a sermon for 5 more fucking minutes. Amidst this, you have Stephen Root as a sheriff, and you find out that he's married, but he's a little bit has some homosexual tendencies, which I'll get into a little bit later. The two kids tied up, they get untied, One runs off to leave the other. Gets to a room full of fucking guns. Literally, he finds a room where there's guns, guns, guns. I sound like Clarence Boddicker. Guns, guns, guns. So this guy, not only is he unlikable, these kids, they're fucking stupid as well. Because literally, he gets a gun and stands right in the doorway. I'm like, you got literally 100 guns in this fucking room. You could literally go on the corner and have a gun here or like off to this side, off to that side. No, he stands right there in the middle. So the other guy comes in, they shoot each other. And then, speaking of stupid people, the second guy that was down there, he did do something smart where later on the Michael Parks and another find, but they see two dead bodies. One dead body here and two dead bodies there. We're like, wait a minute, there weren't two dead bodies. But the other kid had went there and pretended he was dead. Because it just, no one checks the bodies to make sure they're dead. And then I'm thinking, okay, cool. Alright. You faked your death. You know, you hid under the body of your dead friend. That made them believe that you had died at the same time. Put some blood on you. Okay, now you have a room full of guns to yourself. Machine guns, handguns, and all sorts of shit. I would be like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando and load the fuck up. I'd be like Rambo 2, like a motherfucker. No, he takes one gun, he crawls, leans in, sees, the last guy, the third guy, being tied up, and the other people in the church, and they can't see him, and he has a gun here. He could go in and go Death Wish style. No. He runs into the room, plain sight, right in the middle of them, and then runs to the back to the door without firing the fucking gun that he has in his hand, a machine gun. He abandons his friend. So these friends, they just abandon them, their other friends. Just no one wants to be a decent guy or smart. Why didn't he just go, or take the 5 guns that I would have taken and strap them and then, no. He just doesn't fire, runs out in the middle of the church, right in the middle of them, goes out the door, they chase him, he runs out, and then he gets killed. Not by the bad guys, but by the good guys, the ATF agents. Because by this time, when the first kid was killed, there was a police officer talked with Michael Parks. Police officer heard, went on the call, called Stephen Root. That cop got killed. Stephen Root heard it. Michael Parks knew that Stephen Root has a little bit of gay tendencies and threatens him. This Stephen Root is about ready to kill himself, but then decides to call the ATF agents in. And then you have John Goodman, who is wasted in this role. He does the best that he can, but he's the only thing worth a shit in the film, but you can't say it because the writing sucks. As John Goodman for a couple minutes just giving exposition on this 5 points Trinity Church. Just saying exposition. While he's talking to his superior. Then we jump ahead and we realize that that second kid, that kid who got shot outside, technically it wasn't the ATF agents, it was the stupid Stephen Root sheriff. And even John Goodman gets pissed. What are you doing? Why are you firing? What the fuck are you doing? And now it becomes a different movie. And Kevin Smith explains that was his intention, was that every 15 minutes it would seem like it's a different movie, and it seemed like something you would not expect would happen. I get the idea, but for example, Quentin Tarantino did that better. Robert Rodriguez, film called From Dusk Till Dawn. Because you have, hell, the fucking Seth Gecko by George Clooney, who's not a good guy. And yet he is more likable than anybody in this fucking movie. So yeah, that's a big fucking problem. So now we're at John Goodman and ATF agents outside of the church. Kevin Pollak is there long enough to get shot in the eye by Michael Parks. And then there's a firefight that seems like it goes on fucking forever. John Goodman gets text by his boss saying that all the suspects have to be killed. And even John Goodman's like, wait a minute, there are kids and women in there. But nope, they have to do it because they give a reason so that they don't look stupid if the news comes by and these people say the news and the ATF gets blamed. And even one of the other ATF guys goes to John Goodman, what the hell, what's this about? And then John Goodman says, well, I'm not going to be clipping coupons from, with my wife and be fired because I can't follow an order no matter how shitty it is. So there you go. There's no reason to like John Goodman's character. Yeah, he has a little bit of problem with it, but lines of dialogue like that kind of makes you not like him. And even the third guy, the surviving of the three teenagers, this teenage girl is saying, "Oh, I want to save these kids," and he's like, "Fuck you, and fuck your family." It's like, I get that, but what about the little kids? What did the little kids really do? Like the little boys and girls, they didn't do anything. But it's like, fuck you and your family, and that's it. You get this boring firefight that seems to go on fucking forever. And ultimately, that got the last of the teenagers. I should mention his name. I know I recognize him. Kyle Gallner. Him and this teenage girl, they leave and they come across John Goodman. Now, John Goodman doesn't shoot them, but then one of his men comes up and just shoots them. Even though they're unarmed, please, no. They get shot. And granted, John Goodman's standing there stunned, but I'm like, earlier in the film, you guys were talking about how there were maybe hostages, and now they're all dead. And that is afterward that's even more stupid. Then they start hearing trumpet type sounds. And Michael Parks and his 10 or other group of people come out, no guns, thinking it's the Rapture. I didn't know what that was in a previous video. Someone was nice enough to let me know it's the Rapture. They're thinking, God has come. Trumpets are blaring. Then it cuts away to John Goodman talking with two agents saying, yeah, that sound was just neighbors fucking with them. And the neighbors, they had a compost, but really they were marijuana growers. Of course, because Smith loves weed, and weed helps stop the Baptist church and make them look like fools, which was the point of the film, to make those guys look like fools. I don't think so wait a minute, even story-wise, you had two people who had no guns, the guy who was a hostage, and the girl, they just shot right in the head. And yet, because the whole thing was that they all have to die. And yet, you don't kill the main bad guy, Michael Parks, and the other 10 people behind him. I'm like, what the fuck is this? No less than 2 minutes ago, no, not even a minute ago, One of your fellow officers killed 2 people who had no guns. But yet, these people you don't kill. Even though the whole point was that you're supposed to kill them all. But you don't, you just put them in jail, and you're like, what the fuck? What? And then pretty much the 2 agents. Like, Kessler tries to put raunchy dialogue with these 2 agents, and it just doesn't work. It feels forced, stupid. It's like, this just doesn't work with what's come before this. Like, oh yeah, that guy, I forget Michael Park's character, Cooper or whatever. Abin Cooper. Yeah, he's going to be cornholed in prison. He's going to be this. Like, this doesn't work, man. And it's like a lot of talking, and then it cuts to Michael Parks in prison, singing to himself, and then someone going, shut the fuck up. In fact, I think that's Kevin Smith's voice saying shut the fuck up, and then end credits. And I go, yeah, movie, shut the fuck up! That's why I want to, like, tell Kevin Smith, shut the fuck up! With your fucking movie, man. God, I hate this fucking movie. It's boring, it's tedious, it's not even a fucking horror film. It's a horrible film, but not a fucking horror film. This is a shitty suspense action film. I've seen more horror than fucking demonic toys. I've seen more fucking horror than Dolly fucking Dearest. Hostel is fucking Jaws compared to this fucking movie. Never knew there'd be a time where Eli Roth wrote a better horror film than Kevin fucking Smith, but I guarantee you that's it. This film is overrated, has 6.79 to B, doesn't fucking deserve it. I'm sorry, Tarantino. I don't know what movie you saw that made you love it. I have no idea why people would love this film. I'm not going to get mad at you, you dumb. That's not what it is. I don't get it. 3 assholes you don't care about. They get caught. 10-15 minutes of Michael Parks sermonizing about gays are bad and God, you should be fearful. That's like, I swear that's about 30 minutes of the fucking movie. About 25-30 minutes of the fucking movie is just that. You don't care about anybody. There's no likable characters. There's no good guys. I mean, I hate to be a bearer of bad news. I think it's okay to have a good guy in there. Somewhere. Even if they're a bad guy, make them likable. George Clooney for Dustin Dawn is not a good guy. Reservoir Dogs, those are not good guys, but they're likable. Harvey Keitel, he's not a good guy, but he's kind of likable. This is... Don't make a boring film. It just... Pretty much this is a pet project to say a big fuck you to Fred Phelps and the West Baptist Church. Granted, those people are scumbags. But you know what? Put the money into a fucking documentary showing how much of dumbasses they are. Although, honestly, I probably still wouldn't fucking watch it if it's anything like this. Even the features were boring as hell. And there's like 7 SModcasts, like podcasts. Each one's like 40 minutes long or 30 minutes long or an hour long. And each time you click on it, it plays the beginning of the film up until when it's done, and then that's it. And there's all boring conversations, boring podcasts for commentaries. Not even a natural commentary on it. Just like 7 podcasts that you can listen to while watching the film. I have a fucking thing to like about this movie. Directing wise, pretty much like any other direct-to-video film. Nothing directing-wise to run home about. Dialogue is horrible. Absolute dog shit. Characters, no one's likable. The firefights, they seem to go on fucking forever. And Kevin Smith, I'm sorry, he doesn't know how to shoot action. He doesn't. Just like Cop Out. Doesn't know how to shoot action. And I don't even know what the fuck the point of the film is, other than make fun of the Westboro Church. I can do that right here. Westboro Church are fucking assholes, because they're the guys who, if you're gay and you're a soldier and you die, they will picket your funeral. Those guys can go suck my dick and go to hell. There you go. There's the movie. Be on camera going, Westboro Church can suck my dick and they can go to hell. They're a bunch of cocksuckers and they can't fucking spell. There you go. End scene, end movie. I'm pausing because I'm trying to feel like, literally trying to sit here and think, what was the point of this fucking movie? What's the point of this fucking film? I should just be like this so I don't show myself on fucking camera talking about this fucking movie. I threw the fucking thing out the fucking door. God damn, this movie sucks ass. Shit, I don't know what's worse, this or Tusk. Fuck, man. I got nothing else to say. Shitty dialogue, shitty movie, shitty characters, boring, not even a horror film. Fucking Hostel was a better movie than this. Those three guys in Hostel were more likable than the three assholes at the beginning of this film. Even John Goodman couldn't do much with it. Michael Parks, yeah, it became a point. Yeah, Kevin, I'm glad you love hearing Michael Parks talk. Good for you. I like Michael Parks as an actor. I watch him when Tarantino uses him. And the roles he has in Death Proof and Planet Terror, Robert Rodriguez. Fuck this movie.